Welcome to Wandering Monsters. This is the show where weird games are cool, and so are we. I'm Sarah Willis.
And I'm Aaron Schock. Today we have Zafehouse Diaries by Screwfly Studios. This is released in September 2012, and is a zombie game with a lot of unique aspects to it.
Yes.
Not your standard zombie game. As you can see, right out here, we have the main interface of the game, which is the diary. The eponymous diary.
It's not only the main interface of the game, but pretty much the entirety of the game.
Sure. The story is told of your story of survivors is told through this diary. The actions they take every hour over the course of the day are recorded there, and that lets you know whether you succeeded or failed or whatever it is you were trying to do. Well, you weren't trying to fail, I'm hoping.
I lived to fail.
Actually, you succeeded pretty well this game.
It's because I'm so good at video games.
Prodigy, as we've already found out in previous episodes, like the Storage Inc. episode.
You know what? Moving on.
Let's move on. This one is, though it's a zombie game, and it's largely text-based, I found that, and I'm not the only one, there's a lot of other people on the webs who agrees with me.
On the interwebs?
On the interwebs.
If people agree with you on the interwebs, you know you're something doing right.
Yeah, exactly. This one has a lot of roguelike aspects of it. For those of you who aren't aware of the roguelike genre, it's generally dungeon crawlery or RPG-ish, where you kind of a lot of randomness, random encounters, permadeath, which this game has, and
is text-based action part of that genre, or is that unique to this game?
It used to be part of that genre, but I mean, obviously, there's not a whole lot of text-based games out nowadays.
Except for this one, apparently.
It's indie-tastic. But I mean, it has some of those other aspects: the randomness, the permadeath. You can't save this game unless you're quitting the game, and then that's the only time you save it. When you load it back up again, you play the same game you started. You can't like make backup saves and reload them. When your dudes die, they die.
Unless you're doing something
in this case
against the rules.
Sure, I'm sure you could defeat the spirit of the game and go in there and find your save file and pull it out and physically back it up, but that would again be defeating the spirit of the game. I guess let's talk about Sarah played all of this video we're watching right now.
I crusaded through the city trying to reach the building where the helicopter would come to pick up my survivors, and spoiler alert, not everyone made it.
Yeah, there's a few casualties.
No, this is a cool little game. So basically you get randomly selected 5 survivors. They're from different backgrounds. So they're good at different things. I had like a chef, a mechanic, an athlete.
A cleaner, whatever that is.
Yeah, she's a cleaning lady. So, I mean, they led themselves to different activities. When you're going and you have a list of activities that they could be doing. And you set people to different things. And they get so many stars, like I think it's a 1 to 5 scale, at how proficient they are at that task that you're assigning them to. And then they also, if you assign 2 people to a task, their relationship comes into play, because if they don't get along well, bad things could happen, or they won't get the task done as well.
They end up fighting, actually, with one another.
They end up fighting whether you put them on the same task or not. For instance, Austin here, who is the only male of my group, hates all women.
As you can see on the relationship web there, he has some
women issues, which is great since he was in a group of 4 girls. So, he actually had some clashes there with Susan, where they ended up physically fighting throughout the game.
And she broke his leg.
She did break his leg because she's a cop. So.
Yeah, and I mean, basically, you explore houses. The town is randomly generated, as you can see on the map. There's different symbols that mean different things.
And you can split up your party, although I would not advise it.
Some people say that if you have, some of the walkthroughs and stuff I've read say that if you have a group that's roughly even, like 2 people that get along and 3 other people that get along, that it can sometimes work to split them. But zombies are really dangerous in this game.
You want to stick together. Horror
easily.
movie rules. Do not separate. Although I did send one person in to kind of investigate. I sent Austin in to investigate all the buildings before I moved my group in because I figured if he died, that would be just okay.
The least issue of the group.
We did end up losing. Geez, which one was
Hannah.
it?
I think it was
Hannah. There was a random encounter towards the end of my playtime where a group of like thugs that I ran into, some other survivors, just showed up and demanded that we hand Hannah over, and yeah, I did that. I handed her over because
They were well armed and outnumbering you, so
I knew we would all probably die, so I took the sort of heartless way around it. It's my fault. Oh yeah, super intriguing.
Yeah, just one of these, or we're looking at one of the random encounters right now. There's several, and they pop up from time to time. Usually they have 2 or 3 different options. We ran into a few of them. One of our, Susan, I think, one of the group was found hoarding painkillers.
Yeah, just weird circumstances will come up. It was a cool game. A bunch of like sort of choose your own adventure come to life, and it was kind of had a realism to it, but since it's not, I wouldn't say it's not immersive, but since you don't have voice acting or any moving parts, it was also a lot easier to kind of not take it seriously and be like, this person's a jerk, I don't care if they die.
Though you did willingly hand Hannah over.
I did.
And you didn't cry too much when Austin finally died.
I did not cry at all.
When he got eaten by zombies.
Because his leg was broken.
Because his leg was broken and he was trying to get
started picking fights with police officers.
Um...
He sealed his own doom.
Yeah, exactly. Some of the activities, just to kind of give you an idea of what it is that your survivors can do, they can do all sorts of things like search houses, snipe zombies, build barricades and traps.
Yeah, when you enter a new house, you want to, they have so many entrances that need to be secured, so you want to build barricades right away. You can do it slowly and quietly or loudly and quickly. And then you need to search the house for supplies. You go through food very quickly. You can't take that much with you when you're moving from place to place, so you kind of have to choose what.
For some odd reason, a group of 5 people can only carry like 35 pounds worth of gear with them.
I don't get that. And like a pack of cards weighs like 2 pounds apparently.
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of cards they're playing with. The hammer, most utility I've gotten in this game.
There's Hannah going right now.
Hannah.
Yeah,
you died
so
for the good of the group.
it's an interesting game. We have some goods and bad stuff. Sarah's gonna do the goods this time around.
Yeah, the first good thing about this game, the use of sound. It's overall a really quiet game. Like I said, there's not a lot of media in this game, no moving parts, not a lot of music or anything. But when there was sound, when action took place, like I would start an hour, and all of a sudden there'd be gunshots, there'd be sounds of zombies, and you'd be like, oh my god, what just happened? And it was really effective.
And you had to read it in the diary to find out.
Yeah, you're like, oh god, did someone die? I don't know, that sounded bad. Secondly, this interface is really clever. This whole diary map setup was just, it was really clean, and it was really effective for the way they wanted to try to tell this story.
Even the clipboard there kind of looks like something you'd put up for like chores of the week or something. Like,
yeah.
It's Hannah's job to clean up corpses this week.
So, I mean, and like, there's a customization aspect to it as well, where like you can change out the photos in there and put in your friends, and I think that would really change the way the game played.
And not only your friends, but the pictures of your buildings in your town and stuff. It's kind of neat.
And last but not least, this whole relationship component, I think, adds another dimension to the game, because it's not just finding food and surviving. Like, you could go in and do everything right, and 2 of your players could just not get along, and they might end up killing each other. It sort of accounts for, like, more of a realistic aspect of the zombie survival that this simple of a game might not have accounted for.
Sure, not a whole lot of that in zombie games. For the bad, though the use of sound was good, there's almost no music in the game, which is kind of bad, especially when you're playing and just looking at text. Maybe you want something going on in the background. There's a steep learning curve, as in many roguelike games, though Sarah did really well in her one playthrough. I played this game dozens of times and usually die terribly and horribly. So yeah, there's that. And also, you really need to kind of know what you're getting into when you walk into it. I mean, when you think of a game, the text-based nature of this one and other things make it so...
They're not super prevalent. It might not have been what you were expecting when you
Sure.
said zombie video game.
Yeah, it doesn't scream video game. Overall, I mean, it's $10 normally. It's on sale right now as we speak on GOG
Like $4 or
for like
something.
$4 at Good Old Games. So I would say sure if you think it's interesting, I would recommend it. I don't
No,
know,
I would definitely recommend it. It was pretty fun. I'd like to play it again.
definitely. All right, that's it. We'll be back in 2 weeks with another weird game.
Yep. See you then.
Bye.